I'm Jessica Lanning, and this is the second installment of Lanning Does Planning Unplugged. And today we're going to talk about the question that I often get about, should I get married or should I get divorced? And I know that this sounds like they're having conversations with me about the state of their relationship and how well they're getting along, but really it has nothing to do with that. So more often than not, it has something to do with estate planning or with taxes. So I have couples that come to me frequently that are unmarried. Sometimes they're registered domestic partners on the city level, or sometimes they're registered domestic partners on the state level, but we end up having a conversation about whether or not they should get married. And there are in some instances, really good reasons to get married, often for estate planning purposes and just making sure that your spouse is the one that's able to make healthcare decisions for you and will be honored at the hospital as your spouse. There's also an unlimited ability to pass assets back and forth and keep them as community property and not have tax consequences to that. There are some Social Security decisions that can be made as a married couple, although if you're registered domestic partners at the state level, oftentimes the rules are exactly the same. But there can be some good reasons to get married. And more often than not, the couples that have chosen not to get married are not getting married, usually because they have a values proposition around, do we really want to be part of that particular cultural phenomenon of getting married? And they just have chosen not to, but they often get to an age or a point in their lives where they're like, you know what, we would be willing to consider getting married if it's actually going to help us. And I see this a lot less now, but I also will get the question of, should we get divorced? There has been, in times of our tax code, places where there has been a penalty for being married, where you have not gotten as big of a deduction or credit or whatever it might have been because you are married and not single people filing obviously separately. Now, there are some ways in which you can be married and file separately, and that is also of particular benefit in my mind at this moment, thinking about folks that have student loans and are looking for public service loan forgiveness. And so sometimes it makes sense for them to file separately but stay married. What I'm talking about is, should we get divorced? Because we might actually pay less in taxes if we get divorced. We're still going to live together and conduct our lives the same, but should we get divorced? And I hear this one just a little bit less these days. But this does come up in my office. Should I get married? Should I get divorced? How would that help my financial situation or hurt it? And should we be investigating this further? So we do have conversations in my office about getting married and getting divorced. I'm Jessica Lanning. Lanning Does Planning.